In March 2021, a young Nigerian TikTok star known as Coconut was living the kind of life many people dream of. Millions of followers, brand deals, and a fast-rising digital career. But within hours, her name went from trending for laughs to trending for something much darker. Because Coconut was found dead in her Lagos apartment. No clear suspect, no conviction, and years later, no real answers. This is the story of Coconut and how one of Nigeria's most talked about influencer murder cases quietly went cold. Online, she was known simply as Coconut. Offline, police later confirmed her real name was Chiamaka Ibekwe, a 27-year-old content creator. She grew up in Port Harcourt and later studied business administration at the University of Lagos. Friends described her as ambitious, disciplined, and very intentional about building a digital career. On TikTok and Instagram, Coconut became known for her comedic skits, lifestyle content, and day-in-the-life videos that felt incredibly relatable to young Nigerians. She quickly crossed 2 million followers, making her one of the first female influencers to reach that level in Nigeria. But beyond just entertainment, Coconut also spoke openly about mental health, independence, and the immense pressure that comes with online success. To many of her young viewers, she represented freedom, visibility, and possibility, which is why what happened next shocked so many people to their core. On the night of March 30th, 2021, Coconut was expected to return home, but she didn't. Family members reportedly became concerned when they couldn't reach her. Just after midnight on March 31st, neighbors later told police they heard a loud argument coming from Coconut's apartment. Authorities were reportedly contacted, but when officers arrived, no one was seen at the scene. Hours later, around 3 a.m., police were forced to break into the apartment after signs of a break-in were discovered. Inside, they found Coconut unresponsive on her living room floor. Investigators later stated that her death was consistent with homicide, and early forensic findings pointed towards strangulation. No weapon was ever publicly identified. No CCTV footage was officially released to the public. By April 1st, the Lagos State Police issued a brief statement confirming that a 27-year-old female influencer had been murdered and that investigations were ongoing. Her name wasn't mentioned immediately, but online, everyone already knew who it was. Within days, police arrested Chibuzo Nwankwo, a 28-year-old man reported to have been in a short-term relationship with Coconut. According to media reports, he was identified as a suspect largely because he was one of the last people known to have been in contact with her. This follows a familiar pattern in many homicide cases, where romantic partners are often questioned first. But the arrest quickly raised more questions than answers. By April 10th, police announced that Nwankwo had been released on bail, citing insufficient evidence to proceed with charges. No formal accusation followed, no court case began, and just like that, the investigation seemed to lose all its momentum. As official updates slowed to a crawl, social media activity exploded. The hashtag Justice for Coconut trended for weeks on Twitter and Instagram. Users questioned police procedures, demanded transparency, and pointed out inconsistencies in the few public statements that were made. Then, a new theory began circulating online. Rumors suggested that a wealthy and powerful businessman, often referred to only as Mr. X, may have been involved due to an alleged business dispute with Coconut's family. Now, it's really important to be clear here. Police never officially confirmed this theory. No evidence was ever publicly presented to support it, and no individual fitting that description was ever charged. But in the absence of real answers, speculation filled the silence. By July 2022, the Lagos State Police quietly classified the case as unsolved. No further arrests, no reopened hearings. Investigative journalists who looked into the case later highlighted several possible issues. They suggested the crime scene may not have been properly secured, as neighbors had reportedly entered the apartment before forensic teams even arrived. This means potential evidence could have been compromised. Others pointed to broader systemic problems in the region. Limited forensic resources, overburdened investigators, and the immense difficulty of prosecuting high-profile cases without absolutely airtight proof. Whatever the reason, the outcome remained the same. No justice, no closure. Coconuts. Story matters because it sits at the complex intersection of influencer culture, gender, and public accountability. She was visible, she was successful, and yet her case faded from the headlines without any resolution. For Gen Z and millennials who live their lives online, this wasn't just another crime story. It was a chilling reminder that visibility doesn't always equal protection, and that viral attention doesn't always lead to justice. Years later, the question still hangs in the air. What really happened to Coconut, and will Nigeria ever get the answers it deserves?